Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. This is day 7 of 30 Blue Ink's 30 days, and today's ink is probably my favorite ink. I like so many inks, it's really hard to pick a favorite, but if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Monteverde Horizon Blue. It is just such a gorgeous color. It has a little bit of sheen, which is how much sheen I like. It has beautiful shading. I just love everything about it. And I don't remember where I bought it. I think I might have bought it off of Amazon, but I got one of those giant 90 milliliter bottles, and I don't think you can see, but I've used about that much of it. I mean, the bottle's filled up to the top, and I've used down about that far, which for a bottle of ink is, you know, a pretty good amount. And if I keep using on it the way that I would like to keep using on it, I'm sure I will use up this bottle. I've never actually finished a bottle before, but if I finish one, this will probably be the first one. I just love it so much. But thankfully, Monteverde inks are very easy to come by, so when I do use up this bottle, I will be able to get more. So, you might be wondering why I'm using one of my favorite, most used inks during a month when I'm supposed to be trying out some samples or maybe some lesser used inks. And I was thinking about it. I haven't used this ink for probably 6 months because I've been trying to use other inks. And I was also looking through my ink journal, and I've never made an entry in my ink journal for it. So I felt like I had to correct that error immediately. So I won't go over all of my ink journal right now, but if you're interested, let me know and I can go through my ink journal. But I have made an entry in here for it. This is a Bond travel gear journal with 68 GSM Tomoe River paper in it, and it has a dot grid. And the paper is just beautiful. It's smooth, it shows off the inks so beautifully, and I don't think they're making these journals anymore, and I really wish they would, because they're very nice journals. But anyway, I'm only on page 113 so far. I'm doing a different ink on every page, so I still have a ways to go before I fill this one up. A little over 100 pages. But I don't know if you can see in the camera, but this ink is just shading so gorgeously. Oh my goodness, I filled up the pen this morning and I started writing with it, and it instantly made me happy, and I remembered why this is my favorite ink. It's just beautiful. And of course, I've made my little entry in my personal journal. These are the inks. Ooh, I'm trying to see if you can see this. So this is week 1, and it's a lovely selection of inks, but of course here's today's ink, the Monteverde Horizon Blue. So beautiful, so beautiful. Although I'm looking at the Pure Pen Saltire, that's beautiful too. I haven't written with that one as much, but that might be a contender. Anyway, I will do our writing sample. Alright, so Gus felt the need to comment on my writing. Perhaps he thinks I'm a sloppy writer. Who knows? Gus, that's enough. All right, so here is my favorite part, looking at the cards. And you might remember, if you watched my video from yesterday, that I accidentally mislabeled the card. It was Diamine Florida Blue, but I accidentally wrote Twisby Florida Blue on there. And I tore it in half to make sure that I wouldn't get confused and put this one back on the ring with the other cards. But just so you know, I did make a new card for Diamine Florida Blue. But I was looking at the cards for today, and I did it again. And I actually made this card a while back. I wrote Noodler's Oxford Blue, but it's not Noodler's Oxford Blue. It's Diamine Oxford Blue. My goodness, Diamine is going to think I have something against them, but I really don't. I have lots of their inks, and I love them. So I'm not sure why I keep doing that, but, you know, I'm just going to tear this one up so I don't get confused about that one either. But anyway, I was looking through my cards, and I kind of started with the darker spectrum of blue. Diamine Oxford Blue is a beautiful dark blue, but definitely much darker than Horizon Blue. And this Three Oysters Cobalt, that's one of my newest inks. And I just love that one too. Actually very similar to the Diamine Oxford Blue, that darker blue with some red sheen, but definitely very far away from our ink of the day. So there was our first ink this month, the Pure Pen Saltire. And that's getting closer. It's still a bit darker than Horizon Blue, but it has that nice red sheen to it. And here's the very famous Diamine Majestic Blue. Again, we're getting closer. And again, a lot of red sheen. And actually, those two are very similar. I didn't think about this one when I was pulling cards for the Saltire. So very interesting. All right, here is Private Reserve DC Super Show Blue. I've only ever used this version of DC Super Show Blue. I know there is a Monteverde version of DC Super Show Blue, but I've never used that one, so I don't know how similar they are. But these are getting much closer to each other. This one's a little bit lighter, and there is Diamine Blue Velvet. Again, a little bit darker, but pretty close. And this is the Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue. Again, very close to the Monteverde, that kind of medium blue with the red sheen. And I thought I would finish with my other favorite ink. Again, it's so hard to pick a favorite, but this is Colorverse Supernova. And these two colors are pretty similar. Colorverse is a little bit lighter, a little bit brighter, and they both have some red sheen to them, but both beautiful colors. So I really don't think he's a good match for it. He's a little bit lighter, but let's see what we've got in here that's closer. I think the DC Super Show Blue, or maybe not Majestic Blue. I think perhaps one of these would be the closest. Maybe that DC Super Show Blue. It's a little bit darker. So I do have many colors in this range, that kind of medium blue with a little bit of red sheen. Do I need 15 different shades of the same color? Yes, I do. I need 15 shades and more. And the next time I hear about a color like this, I will be buying a sample of it and perhaps even a bottle of it, because I just love it. All right, well, I hope you are loving your pens and inks today. And feel free to leave me any comments or questions below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.